What's going on, everyone? Only Sports back with another video. In this video, I'm going to be talking about the New York Giants and the draft. As you know, we're approaching the draft. We're under 2 months away. As we're getting there, combine started, so it's obviously an exciting time. Free agency is about to get going. But in this video, I'm going to be talking about whether or not the Giants should trade back in the draft, and I believe they should. I really do. I think they should. When you look at where we currently sit, I think with at least one of the first two picks, I think the Giants have to trade back and get draft capital for next year and years to come. In terms of which pick will, give back the most value for the Giants, it's probably the 5th pick. But there's only one way I absolutely do not trade that pick, and that's if either Kayvon Thibodeau is, sitting on the board at number 5. If he's there, I wouldn't trade that pick. I would take him without even thinking about it. I made a video on him about a week ago saying the Giants, if he falls to the Giants, they got to draft him. My stance on that has not and will not change. He's, in my opinion, he might be the best player in the draft. If you look at 3-4 months ago, he was rumored to go first, and it wasn't even close. So if he lands to 5, the Giants have to stay where they are and take him. But then with the 7 pick, you could trade back. I just think regardless, with one of the first 2 picks, the Giants have to trade back. That's just where I stand here. You get a lot of value by trading back. You take a look at what we got last year. By moving back 9 spots, we got a first-round pick the year after. We got and then some mid-round picks. If the Giants could get that type of return, there's no reason that the Giants don't move back 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 spots from 5 or 7. The only issue is, are there going to be trade partners? Because this is a quarterback class that is not as deep. We don't know if there's going to be teams willing to trade up. Which is obviously tough. But if you find a team, then I think you have to do it. And, given, the value that this draft class has in the 2nd, 3rd round, it makes too much sense not to trade back. If you can get, a first-round pick, next year and a 3rd-round pick this year, to move back 10 spots or whatever the case may be, I think the Giants have got to do that. And Joe Schoen seems like he's open to it. And I'm actually going to predict that the Giants use one of those picks and actually trade back. Just based off what we're hearing from Joe Schoen, some of the stuff he said, it seems like he's willing to trade back. And, if I'm, as a Giants fan, that's totally fine with me. I love, hearing that. It's absolutely unbelievable because if you're able to trade back and set yourself up for more draft capital in the future, it's setting yourself up really nicely, especially because we're not a team that's going to compete, for a Super Bowl in the next 2 years. So it makes too much sense not to trade back if the right deal presents itself. Just taking a look at some of the teams I could see the New York Giants trading back with, and some teams that maybe are looking to trade up for a quarterback potentially. There's a few names out there. No question about it. There's some names. One name that I think, more than likely won't trade with is the Washington Commanders, although I think that's a team that could want to trade up. But, being that they're in the division, I don't know if the Giants really try and help them out unless there's just a massive haul we're getting back. So I would rule that out. But some other teams I could see, potentially are the Vikings at 12. We don't know what the situation there is with Kirk Cousins. He's a possible guy there. The Falcons potentially, maybe they want to move up to 5 and jump the Panthers, who are a team that could be wanting to take a quarterback. Same thing with the Broncos at 9. That's another team there. Of course, you take a look at the Saints at 18. They're a team that they don't have a quarterback really, in that organization, so they could be a team. The Steelers at 20, that's another team. And in the first round, that's really it. Of course, you could say the Buccaneers, but they're all the way at 27. I don't think the Giants move that far back. I think that's a little bit too much, 20 or 22 picks, depending on which pick we trade. But I just think that's too far back to trade. So I think I still think there's some good names or some good teams. There's a variety of teams. So I think it's definitely possible for the Giants to trade back, and I think it's possible in any round. I think they could potentially even trade back in round 2, maybe even in round 3, and then maybe we see a trade up at some point, like we did last year. We traded up to get Aaron Robinson, and we traded back in both the first and second round. Maybe the Giants do something like that. Who knows? But in terms of trading back, especially in the first round, I think it's something the Giants definitely have to consider doing, and I think they should do it. And I think Joe Schoen's going to do what's best for this team, as he seems like he's open to anything. And I'm actually going to predict that with one of those picks, the Giants trade back. But that's all I got in this video, guys. You guys let me know down below in the comment section your thoughts on the New York Giants potentially trading back in this year's draft, specifically in the first round. I can't imagine too many people that wouldn't want to trade back, knowing what we can get in return. But you guys let me know all that good stuff down below in the comment section. Do you agree with me? And do you agree with my prediction? But that's all I got in this video. You guys, please leave a like on the video, subscribe to the channel if you guys are new. We'll see you guys on the next video. Let's go Giants.